back with more Fear the Walking Dead. This is episode 11 of season 6. Very excited, as always, to continue this season, which has been wonderful so far. Loved the last episode, focusing on Daniel, what's going on with him. Don't know who the focus of this episode is. I do tend to stay away from like publicity and teasers, trailers, all of that kind of thing, which is always exciting to see how we're going to shift the focus. Although we did see like a lot of the characters in the last episode. But yeah, I'm intrigued to see where we take the story even further now. I assume we're going to be like investigating more of the stuff with potentially having some people underground. The end is the beginning people. We're getting more and more aware of their presence, so I imagine that's going to need to amp up a bit, because we only have like 6 episodes left of the season, I believe. So yeah, looking forward to seeing what they have in store for us, and let's just get right into the next one.
Death, destruction, decay.
Oh.
And the plants in turn feed us and all the creatures that sustain us. It's the way it's always been.
What about the walkers feeding on us? I mean, I kind of want to live here, to be honest. They have pizza.
Can you help them?
Okay, you had me until that bit. Oh. So there really are just people living underground. How about that? Well, Dakota was right, but now we can kill her. She has no more intel. There it is. Painting trees to a painted tree, eh? How about that? Not sure it's a development I'm happy about, but there we go.
No, I don't think you're ever in a place like this.
How can you be so sure?
Because there is no place like this. Because there's never been a place like this.
And how'd you know that?
We're closing up the door soon. For good.
For good? Why?
So we never have to go topside again.
Oh.
Tell me exactly what you see.
I see a walker that should be in the ground.
Anything else?
A guy asking a stupid question.
Nobody gets it on the first try.
Nobody should get it.
What's troubling you, Alicia? Be honest.
The walker in the fucking tree!
I used to be a painter.
What did you paint?
All kinds of things.
Trees. It was so exciting.
Brother.
His name was Nick. Bobby. My brother was my best friend.
Oh.
Just like him.
All their brothers are dead. I'm depressed.
She gave her life so we could live.
Or did she?
It's time for you to meet Teddy. Come on.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm sure he's sane and normal.
That's Derek. Derek?
Holy shit.
Wes? Wes, you're alive?
Oh my god! Oh man. How long until that relationship gets ruined then? 10, 15 minutes?
Painting those messages on tree trunks. Stuff like, if you're reading this, you're still here, and your novel, that wasn't gonna change anything. We meant well.
That's what we were saying at the fucking time.
Anything. What I'm doing here, it means something.
He's like, nah, painting trees was worthless. Let's paint walls.
You.
They're really giving this painting more screen time than Luciana. Ah, there we go. That's more like it.
Be careful, Wes.
Derek's different.
I mean, I'm not sure you know Derek anymore, buddy.
Wes tells me you pulled him through a rough patch after I left.
Season 5, yeah. Rough patch. Mmm.
Where the hell did he get these?
Aha!
These coordinates. Let's take to him.
That doesn't mean anything.
I mean, it means something, Wes.
We have to get him out of here.
Oh boy. I'm sure that'll go well.
You're not ready.
Why not?
I told you. Because you can't see. But it's okay.
I'm already done with this. You can't see bullshit.
We have to start over. And we can't do that till everyone and everything up there is gone.
Or just lock yourselves underground like you said you were going to do.
I lost friends, people I cared about.
I didn't know.
And if you did, would that have changed anything?
I would have gotten you out.
But you still would have done it.
Hmm.
You would have killed those people. I know you. I know you. And this, it ain't you. It ain't you.
It is now.
Morgan, no, he's not like this, Teddy. He won't make you do anything you don't want to.
Morgan?
Yeah, I was going to say, you shouldn't have said his name.
Are you gonna come or not?
Where is it?
Does it matter? These
Of course it does, so they can go blow it up.
Derek, they're blinding you.
If they catch me trying to leave, they'll kill me. They'll kill all of you.
Don't get caught then. I do not trust that man.
What's in the bag?
Maps, coordinates, places they're planning to hit next, so nobody else gets hurt.
Could just burn him, buddy. Dodgy as F.
Wait, Alicia.
Sorry, Wes, I can't take the chance.
Yeah,
What are you talking
Not
about?
after what
absolutely
happened.
right.
Let's go. We know where they are, and we know the places that they're gonna hit them. So let's go, okay?
You're not going anywhere.
Oh dear.
Where's my brother? What are you doing to him?
Probably nothing, because he's part of the group.
It's embalming equipment. They hit the funeral home.
You won't decay. You won't return to the earth. You won't be part of our new beginning. It doesn't have to be like this. Just tell
You
us where the time
weirdos.
is.
What the hell, Derek? Alicia was right.
Well, yeah.
Did you know I was there?
People are people.
And if you don't care that he's your brother, Wes shouldn't care either.
Tell me what you see.
Kill him. Feed him to the tree walker. That's what I said. What do you see now, buddy? Do you see the light? Follow it. Well, that was quite the reunion. On the plus side, now your brother really is dead, so you can continue with that whole thing.
They're all embalmed. Oh. Go ahead.
Oh, do you think it could be Isabel?
Al, don't.
Ah!
Oh, you need to get those masks to Morgan.
Alicia.
You said I made you believe people could do more. They can't.
Let's not put a Madison, Alicia. I mean... Are they really not noticing the fluid spilling out of there? Well...
I wouldn't be standing here if Alicia didn't stick her neck out for me.
You shouldn't be standing
I'm the
there.
reason you went there. Just let me finish what I started.
No! Go away!
For all of you.
For John?
But we're not there yet.
You should never be there. Go away, little girl.
Real lady?
I have to find her.
Yes!
If you don't check in with me every couple days, I'll come looking for you.
Oh, I was hoping we'd get another episode of those two, like, teaming up and finding her.
Our decaying bodies feed the soil. The soil, in turn, feeds the plants.
Yeah, we know.
Our death springs new life.
I mean, you should have gone right for the brain there, to be honest. Oh, nice. Embalm you instead. Oh. I mean, what did you think was going to happen when you left it with him? Like, come on.
You know, family should be sacred. It is, after all, the beginning of each and every one of us. Question: did you sacrifice
Well,
yourself because you are noble?
Wasn't sacred to Derek, was it? He's part of your...
Because you're punishing
Lupino.
yourself for years of work, sacrifices, literal, figurative. You destroyed it.
Shame.
What do you want?
To save you, Alicia.
She's been saving herself just fucking fine, mate.
I know you don't believe in this. In us. Yet.
You've given them zero reasons to. You're going to fill her with that weird shit.
Looking looking for someone like you for a long, long time.
Oh my. Back with more Fear the Walking Dead. Why am I starting the video again? Okay, another really good episode overall. I liked getting, to grips with these end is the beginning people and actually seeing what their base is like. I think the kind of underground, like, garage kind of setup is a really interesting idea for, like, a base. So I liked that, and that provided some cool imagery for when they kind of panned out a bit, and you could see like multiple levels of people just working about their day. I thought that was a really interesting idea, actually. So I liked that. The idea of them building up to, like, lock themselves away. If their plan is stupid, granted. Like, if, like, oh, we need to lock ourselves away from the world, the only way we're going to be ready for that is to, like, get rid of everything up there and kill everyone up there. Well, if you do that, then there's going to be nothing up there, so you might as well just stay on the surface, right? Your plan is to just kill everyone. Like, if you want the underground aspect of it to actually be important, just see yourselves up when you're ready, and don't bother with the rest of them up there. You know? Killing them all just makes locking yourselves underground completely pointless, because you might as well just stay on the surface. But anyway, yeah, I still liked getting a look at that community and, the propaganda going around, I guess, with Teddy's message on loop, like, again and again and again. No wonder that lot's crazy. Man. So, yeah, it was cool, to get an idea of a different setting. It moves the plot forward quite a bit with that lot. Because they've kind of been background for most of this season, or we've been dealing with the Virginia stuff. So, yeah, it was cool to see a couple of people infiltrate it, try and get a bit of intel. I thought the idea of having Wes's brother actually still be alive and he was part of that community is a cool way of having, like, a proper connection there. It gave Wes a lot of screen time and something to do, which is great. It was cool to have, like, an episode mainly centred on him. Poor Luciana. She's in an episode, and she's not really in an episode, is she? I hope she gets, like, a proper centric episode at some point this season. There's still, like, what? 5 chances left, maybe? Let's keep our fingers crossed. Because even when they put her in an episode like this, when there's only, like, 4 of the, like, our core characters in it, she still has nothing to do, bless her. So, yeah, it was cool to see these guys infiltrate it, and to see Wes's brother. Didn't end well for them, granted, but I kind of liked in a way that he was seemingly too far gone, and he was just so converted by what they've been doing here, so brainwashed, I think, that they were kind of left without a choice. And I liked Alicia's gut instinct to be like, we can't trust him. Although he did seem to be kind of swayed until Wes mentioned that he was with Morgan, and now, like, okay, so how did this group know so much about Morgan? Is it through, like, listening to Virginia and her watching Morgan and being aware of him? Is that how they learned about him in, Return? And I don't know how much they know, because they didn't know that Virginia was dead. They didn't know that she'd kind of been overthrown and killed and everything. So, exactly how much do they know about Morgan? How did they learn it? How much they've been keeping up with things recently? That could be their downfall. You never know. But a few of them are also aware of the other community that Morgan's building up now, so that's going to put that in danger again. But yeah, we're elevating that threat in a big way, so I'm excited to see where they're going to take that. And yeah, poor old Derek. Quite a way to go. But it was an interesting thing to kind of be like, oh, all these characters have lost their brother, and then suddenly, oh, actually, one of them is still alive, here he is. And then go back again to, the big episode with Wes earlier in this season, apart from this one, was when he got really quite hurt and everything. And his brother kind of organised that attack. And I feel like they implied that he did know that Wes was there, and he did it anyway, because people are just people in this world, even though he was saying that. And then Teddy was like, oh, family is everything, or something, like, oh, family must mean something. And I'm like, well, you're contradicting yourself all over the place there, aren't you? So I think that whole thing with Teddy is just going to fall apart, because they're already contradicting themselves. It's the first bloody episode. But yeah, them kind of marching up the walkers was a really cool image, but gross. I know it's kind of how it works, but, like, just kill the walkers before you throw them into that thing, Yeah. But to see them have, like, a proper kind of ecosystem going on, some, like, they had water, they had food, they had power, everything with that. it's an interesting kind of contrast to you know, Morgan's place and everything they're building there. Like they're kind of building themselves up alongside these guys. So that was an interesting thing to see, like where those two sites are at in terms of their development. As Teddy was mentioning, you know, oh, years of work ruined. So they've been there for a long ass time, a lot longer obviously than Morgan's setup has kind of been a thing. So I like the comparisons between the two of them, and I assume a battle of some kind is going to be approaching. And what role Teddy has in store for Alicia, I'm not quite sure. So that's something else that could be quite intriguing. And I liked Alicia just being badass in this one, killing everyone she needed to, cutting open all those walkers with the embalming fluid in them, which was disgusting, setting that on fire, just, you know, setting back the group a bit. So yeah, I'm excited to see her probably get some meaty material now that she's kind of still trapped with them. And Teddy seems to have an idea in mind for what role she could play. And yeah, I've seen the actor who plays Teddy before. I've definitely seen him in, I think it was Batman and Robin. I think he was the guy Poison Ivy kills at the start when she transforms. Well, he basically makes Poison Ivy. I think that's the same actor. I don't know if I've seen him in anything else other than that, but he seems like the right kind of casting for a character like Teddy. So he was, you know, he did a good job in his little scene. So I'm excited to see a bit more of him, how he kind of came up with this philosophy and, you know, end is a beginning nonsense, where that's going to kind of take him in future, what kind of antagonist he's going to be. So I'm excited for that, because obviously we've got Virginia out of the way. We had a few episodes, like a kind of an episode-ish gap focusing on Daniel, like things were settling down, there wasn't like a big bad overlooking them per se, and now we're like, here we are again, here's our next villain to deal with. So it was cool to see him be introduced at this point. Exactly how he's going to, you know, make his mark on the show remains to be seen, but I think the actor did a really good job, so I'm excited for more of him. And yeah, just the kind of investigation going on, Alicia not trusting anything, Althea, Luciana, you know, they're all still snooping around doing stuff. Luciana, you know, she was kind of in a cult of her own, I think, when we first met her, maybe. Season 2 was so long ago. But I liked her kind of knowing, like, well, I've been here, so Wes, you need to stay the hell out of this, even if it is your brother. And yeah, I get Wes being like, well, you know, Derek's not like the others, he's different, he's my brother. But I'm also like, well, you didn't know him. So the kind of revelation and everything with that and where that story was going, I think it was pretty obvious and signposted about halfway through the episode where it was going. So it's just kind of like waiting for it to happen, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, I suppose. But there's a lot of back and forth with that. I'm glad they didn't just go down the typical route, like multiple episodes of Wes being like, no, this place is actually fine. I'm glad it was only kind of like half the episode. And once Althea kind of showed him everything that Derek had in his bunk, he was pretty much obvious. Like, he knew, like, okay, this isn't right, and this isn't my brother anymore. And, you know, still probably a tough decision to kill him there, but yeah. Wes started this episode with his brother being dead. Now it ends with him actually being dead. So not much has changed there. So chin up, Wes. It's okay. So yeah, I did enjoy the focus on Wes because he hasn't had much to do this season at all. He's barely been in any episodes this season. So the fact that they gave him a lot to do is good. Fleshing out that character a lot more. That is one thing I think Fear does need to do a bit more of, is actually, you know, give time to the characters that have been around for a little while. And flesh them out a bit more, or actually just give them a set of episodes. You know, we had like multiple episodes about one character, and then other characters never get an episode of their own. And then you focus on Dakota for some weird reason, more so than like Luciana or Wes, or at some points this season even Alicia. You know, so I think they're starting to get that balance right. But they've definitely done a better job of it, I think, this season, because the group is kind of spending a lot of time together again. This season, well, more groups of people are together. Obviously, Strand's off on his own and June's off on her own, so not everyone together, but there is more of a cluster of people now, which I enjoy and I much prefer. Even if Dakota's still part of that community, I don't know why they've kept her alive now. I don't know why they're just letting her walk around. And like, no, we're not there yet. Why are you promising her yet? Just kill her. Like, I don't understand why she stood around. Like, all the intel she could have told you now, she's told you with the underground people. You know where they are, you found them. Good. Now, ugh, she killed John. And I know, like, oh, we've forgiven Charlie, we've moved on, we all came to forgive Charlie, etc., etc. But I still hold Nick's death against Charlie. I'm sorry. But I can deal with it because Nick did kill someone close to Charlie, I think. When Charlie killed Nick, that was a retaliation. Dakota killed John for selfish reasons. Like, John didn't necessarily do anything to her except find out the truth, which was his job in Norton. So I think that's the kind of key difference there with me. I'm just like, just kill her. Just, please. But there we go. We'll see what happens with it anyway. But I like that they're building up, like, this community, this new lot are aware of Morgan. Morgan's now aware of them. There's going to be some kind of climactic battle between them, I would assume, later on in the season. So I'm excited to see where that's going to go. I like to focus on Wes a lot. Alicia was an absolute badass, and what her role is going to be going forward with Teddy, I'm intrigued by. Maybe this will give Strand a kick up the arse and be like, oh, I'm going to prove myself to Alicia. I'm going to prove it to Alicia that she should come with me, blah, blah. Well, if you go and save her, maybe that will give her a reason to listen and hear you out. But that could be fun to see Strand kind of get involved in all this. And then, the inclusion of Derek, and his kind of brainwashing, the kind of tragedy behind that, I thought was pretty well done. And Althea doing a bit of snooping around and her realising, like, oh, she needs to find Isabel. Very excited to revisit that, and the fact that she found some CRM, documents, etc., etc., just adds that world building a bit. Because she found stuff like that in, like, the start of season 5, and they basically, after Isabel went, they never picked that up again, like exactly what the lore behind those documents and everything were that she found. So again, that feels like progress, long time coming. So I liked the kind of different developments going on, and our new villain in place, it would seem, and what they're going to kind of do and what they'll bring to the show. I'm looking forward to finding out. But overall, another really good episode. I don't think it's like a huge standout of the season for me, but it was still another nice one. And I do enjoy episodes in the Walking Dead verse where they just spend some time in a new community and show us what it's all about, even if they're all bonkers and do this weird philosophy shit. And you're just asking for it when you literally have a walker tied to a tree in the middle of the place. Like, you're going to ask for someone to bump into that and get bitten. Like, it's their own fault. And we can, less with the painting trees thing as well. Like, let's leave that alone. Like, it's fine. But yeah, overall, another really good episode, and I look forward to seeing who they're going to be focusing on in the next one. I would be keen to kind of continue with the Alicia story, but they seem to set up an Althea episode as well, where she's going to go off and track down Isabel, so that would be fun. Again, the Luciana episode would be wonderful, because she hasn't had one of those ever? I don't know. 2 and 3, I think, kind of focused on her a bit, but I don't know. Her time needs to come at some point. Please, dear God, just remember she's in the show. But yes, apart from that, I'm really excited to see where I'm going to take everything next with these new kind of group of villains. And until my next reaction, thanks for watching.